Boys and girls, ladies and gents, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to High Top Sports' Wake Up with High Top, where we talk all things college football. We got some time on our hands with little man in the house, so we figured we'd do a little daily show in the morning to get the blood flowing, to get you guys waking up, talking everything that's happened around the world of college football. Today we're talking Heisman talk. Who's the front runner? Who's my dark knight for the rest of the year? Message boards are always fun, and Iowa fans took their message boards to determine whether or not they should let go of their head coach. Is it weighing out their options? Kind of interesting. I feel like a lot of teams feel like they've got a chance now, a fighting chance, because of NIL. Arch Manning looking to have a bounce-back week against Florida on the road. Start of SEC play, his first two big games in powerhouse stadiums. Gruden and Arkansas, a lot of people like it, especially Brett Favre. Ladies and gentlemen, Cody the Prof joins us. And that is a cocktail because it's Cody's nighttime. It's 9:30 p.m. for Cody, if you will.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Dad's juiced. Screwdriver. Extra heavy on the Tito's, okay? So it's just mostly Tito's ice and a splash of orange juice. But yes, it's my nighttime. I'm not an alcoholic. I usually don't even drink during the week, but,
For the show, for the boys.
For the show. For the boys.
For the boys. This show is brought to you by Prize Picks, boys and girls. We'll talk with them later on in this show. But good morning, boys. Good to see you. Happy to have you here. If for anyone that's driving around or having a good time, we appreciate you joining us and hanging out with us. But Heisman talk is ramping up here 6 weeks in, which it feels healthy. Feels like it's time to talk a little Heisman talk. I think we've got enough data at least, and it's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy. It's just how the world works. I really wish I could do a better job of tracking this because obviously we have all the preseason rankings and the preseason list of who we think are the top teams in the SEC, who we think the top, Heisman favorites are. And I could tell you, the names that are on this list weren't on many people's list, okay? Because I know Arch was up there. I know Dante or DJ Lagway was up there. John Mateer, if I recall, was up there. So I'll resign on that one.
Probably would have been a shoe-in right now if he didn't get the thumb injury. He's not going to put up enough yards and stats to do it this year. Probably the weakest Heisman board that we've ever seen. Is that probably fair to say?
Elaborate.
I know like Mendoza's on there. There's a running back. There's a wide receiver, which that's kind of
Ahmad Hardy from Missouri. Yeah, I didn't see a wide receiver outside of Jeremiah Smith, but he's not even up there.
You got the list pulled up?
Yeah, I've got the list pulled up. He's Ruben Baines up there, defensive lineman, but I don't have a wide receiver on my list.
Oh my, yeah, it's a weak list when you got defensive linemen on there. What's the list?
I mean,
let's run through it.
Well, elaborate on weak though. I want to get your thoughts on that. Why do you say that? Because they're not sexy.
Flashy? Not flashy.
Okay, yeah, not sexy. Okay.
Unknown programs. I mean,
that's fair.
The Ashton Jeanty thing, Boise State is I would say kind of a fun program.
But he was so electric though, like it overcame the non-sexiness because of what he was doing on the field was iconic.
Hindsight's 50-50. He probably should have won it because they look terrible this year. They can't run the ball or anything. But so it's I don't want to say weak because I don't want to pull the Heisman away on I just maybe a down year. I think it's a down year in college football.
Yeah, Gator Games is not a weak board. I agree. I don't think it's a weak board. I actually think that it's a pretty healthy board, a very competitive board. But I agree with you. It's just not. It's not the names we anticipated. It's not what we expected it to be. John Mateer's up there, which we thought. Dante Moore being up there doesn't surprise me at all, and we'll get into that. But look, let's go over the list. We'll quit holding people hostage here. Shout out to Thomas Goldkamp. He actually put a little voting together. This is actually from theirs. Let me actually hold on. Let's go to actual Heisman odds. They did their own voting. I didn't realize it was their own voting. I mean, I appreciate their thoughts, but I'd rather.
Give me the raw odds. Give me the.
Okay,
juice.
Look, this is crazy. Okay, these are biggest moves. I'm pissed that this is up here because this was my dark night before I saw this. I want you guys to know this. Jeremiah Love made some moves. Jeremiah Smith made some moves. Where's just the list? Like I want just the odds. I liked how they had like a nice little scoring system on the On3, which was kind of cool to see.
Did Jordan Tyson make it yet from ASU?
No, but Sam Levitt's up there.
Okay. Yeah, watch Jordan Tyson if he stays healthy. Watch him sneak in at the end.
So it looks like the top big ones right now, and the biggest movers at least they have, are Dante Moore at plus 750, Jeremiah Love at plus 2200. He was at plus 7500 the week before. Jeremiah Smith is a plus 1000. Sam Levitt from Arizona State's at plus 2200. He was at plus 6000. Obviously, big one over TCU. Ty Simpson, which does not surprise me. He looked fantastic against Georgia at plus 1000, moved from plus 2500. Who I had as my dark knight was CJ Carr at Notre Dame, which we'll get into in here in just a moment. But John Mateer is another one.
Not on there.
Who?
IU kid. Mendoza is his name?
He was like 10th, I believe.
Okay. So he's on there too.
All right, here we go. Golly, I'm struggling. All right. Dante Moore at number 1 at plus 750. Carson Beck at plus 1,000. Jeremiah Smith at plus 1,000. Ty Simpson at plus 1,000. Fernando Mendoza at plus 1,200. Trinidad Chambliss at plus 1,500. Julian Sayin at plus 17. With Diego Pavia at plus 17. Then go to Stockton at plus 2. And then, yeah, so it's very quarterback heavy, like we said. Jeremiah Love's at plus 3,500. This is via FanDuel. So these are much more, I would say. Now, John Mateer's at plus 5,500, and you got to think that the injury has put a lot of stock into that number being much lower than what it was originally. But Dante Moore, it's interesting to see, because remember last year with Dylan Gabriel, he was always in the conversation but never really led it. And it's look, we kind of brushed it off to the fact that it was where he played, right? Played at Oregon, not a lot of big time games. Had the big game against Ohio State, but their schedule, you kind of just forgot about him. Dante Moore is in a very similar situation. I mean, think about it. Oregon hasn't been on anybody's radar until last week, and it wasn't the prettiest of games offensively, but the way that Dante Moore walked out there and just led that team to victory is why he's leading the way right now. I mean, he's got great stats to back it up. Let's not get it twisted. He is sitting at, I think, 1,300 yards passing, 1,200 yards passing, 14 touchdowns, and 1 interception with an 83 QBR.
Dante Moore is a bigger household name than what
Dylan?
Their quarterback Dylan was. Yeah, Dante Moore, true 5-star. I think people forget about him because he did the 1-year stint at UCLA, sat last year, and then come back out guns a-blazing. Dante Moore is a pretty well-known name in college football. I think that's probably the best pick right now for Heisman. But like you said, is that going to hurt him at the end with the problem with the 11 p.m. kickoffs and shit like that? Like, is that going to be a problem?
Yeah, I mean, they've
people
got
lose sight of him.
Yeah, I mean, look, the fact that he's up there right now, I feel like is huge, and they've got a few more games that will help with that for sure. But look, the big one for me, and before I saw this list, because I was looking on Three's voting list, who they did not have CJ Carr on there, because this is what I was giving Dave crap about the other day, because he was like, CJ Carr's not good. I was like, CJ Carr is phenomenal as a true freshman. Like, I have been thoroughly impressed, and I was like, let me go take a look at this kid's stats. Like, what are we working with here? So just to kind of put things into perspective, okay? John Mateer's at 1,200 yards, 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions with a 75.5 QBR. And then, of course, we just mentioned Dante Moore's numbers. CJ Carr is at 1,000 yards, just under 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions with an 88.4 QBR, ranking him second. And the one thing that I was concerned about, because I do believe he should have Heisman moments, that he had 2 opportunities. He would have won at least one of the Miami A&M game. He's probably leading this thing. Because if he would have won A&M, he threw for 300 yards and a touchdown with 1 interception. 20 for 32, not great. Now, they do have USC, but they've got some games that are coming up. They've got Boise, which if he can go out there and throw for 300, it just helps him pat his stats. NC State, then USC, Boston College. Navy will be kind of one of those classic ones. Pittsburgh and Syracuse will be his other opportunities. If they go on a run, like which we've talked about before, and just went out, and he is just pure dominance, he's going to be in the conversation. That USC game would benefit him if they are ranked for big time moments.
Who's IU got left? Talk about stats. That kid could probably. I mean,
Who?
I think they're
Iowa?
IU.
Oh, Indiana. Sorry.
You talk about you talk about loading the stats up. I think they got a pretty easy schedule to load stats up.
They
I mean,
oh yeah, Fernando. So they
you
have
could win
Oregon.
it just. Go ahead.
They have Oregon. They have Penn State, and then they have after that it's just Michigan State, Maryland, UCLA, Wisconsin, and Purdue. So he has. I mean, I would say
Two
that
Heisman moments there. You go out and you beat Oregon and Penn State.
or just one of them.
Yeah, and then you have all those games to pad your stats. That's a shoe-in.
Let's see what he is at. Yeah, he's at
And
1,200 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 1 interception. So he's no doubt in the question.
And IU kind of has a little burn behind them with Coach Sig. They go out and they beat a couple top tier Big Ten teams, get him to a Big Ten championship. He goes ahead, wins that thing. I mean, you talk about all the Heisman juice you could ever want for a kid. It's right there.
Yeah, look, Diego Pavio's up there as well too. He's got a big weekend.
Oh yeah,
him and Ty Simpson, in my opinion, this will be the weekend that determines who we move on with these two personally.
You imagine the Heisman isn't even going to go first round if Diego Pavia wins it. He won't even go first round in the NFL draft as a quarterback.
Fernando?
No, Diego Pavia.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I was gonna say it reminds me of Johnny Manziel, but it's not the same. But because Johnny obviously was first round overall. Look, if he goes out there and does something incredible for Vandy, I mean, he's definitely gonna get looked at. I don't know if he'll go first round, but I mean, the guys, if he does those things and wins the Heisman, it's gonna be hard to overlook him. There's just something about him that you'd want on your football team. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. But look, I think, in my opinion, because last year it was good off to the start, and then it really just came a Travis Hunter and Ashton Genty show, which why I didn't like it. The reason I wasn't a huge fan is because both teams were kind of off the radar in the sense of playing big games, being in big moments, having that Heisman moment. Obviously, Boise goes to the playoffs, but Heisman voting's over after the fact. Colorado, I think, had some pretty big moments in big games. They were in it for the Big 12, so I can't say they were as completely, but in comparison to what we're typically used to, they kind of were just flying under the radar. Travis Hunter was a phenomenal name. I'm not trying to brush that off by any stretch of the imagination. That was something we haven't seen before. I did enjoy that Heisman, but this one may not carry the star power, but it feels like it's wide open at the moment, and you could see something you haven't seen in a while, like an Indiana quarterback, like a Vanderbilt quarterback, win this thing. Oregon's already won one. Carson Beck's up there. I don't feel like he should be up there. I don't feel like he's done enough to be what he's rated currently.
Yeah, it's just by name. I also like I said, there's a couple others that, depending on these quarterbacks, like Jordan Tyson from ASU. If that kid's a world beater. Watch out for him sneaking up. And then Trinidad, our boy Trinidad, Ole Miss, they are slinging the ball. You imagine going to backup. Austin Simmons loses his spot to the D2 kid, and he goes and wins the Heisman his first year. What more of a football story do you want? They make movies about that. They make football movies we cried to at the end about that. That's the most Friday night, remember the Titans loving movie that we ever seen in our life. You know what I mean?
No, that would be. It would be pretty cool to see that come to roll. I mean, he's playing like a true veteran, so yeah, I don't blame you at all. It would be fun to watch. All right, real quick, Anthony Gator saying I can't read. It's 9:30 in the morning, boys. Give me a minute, okay? I can read. It just sometimes it's a little choppy. Hi, Top. As a college fan in general, can you justify to me how the ESPN FPI rankings have Georgia, Bama, and Texas, Ole Miss, and Notre Dame ahead of Miami? So I looked it up to make sure this was true before I spoke on it, and it is. This is wild. So they have
FPI works is a problem.
Sorry, say that again.
I don't know how their FPI ranking works. I don't know if it's a power ranking.
You want me to tell you what it says?
Yeah.
Football Power Index that measures teams' true strength on net point scale, expected point margin versus average opponent on neutral field.
That sounds like a bunch of hoopla.
Yeah, I know. I was just at that read.
That sounds like a bunch of hoopla. That sounds like I just paid $100 for a guy to teach me how to count cards for Vegas a month before I go. That's what that sounds like.
All right, I'm putting in the ChatGPT. Describe what FPI is like a dummy. So it's basically a computer math system, which obviously tries to figure out how good a team is right now, how likely they are to win each game, what their season might look like, record, conference, champ odds, playoff odds, etc. Okay. How does it work? Think of like a big recipe. How good your team has been, past results, points scored, points allowed, how good your players are, recruiting, returning starters, QB talent, who you play, strength of schedule, and what's coming up, home and away future matchups. Okay. Look,
Well, that's why Miami's ranked lower.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why we may not agree with it, but Ole Miss it's coming down to the strength of schedule, I think, is what's carrying a ton of weight. Because in Alabama, personally, why they're up there, I do agree with, based on their metrics. Keep in mind here, based on their system and what they're saying, I don't agree that they're ranked third right now if you were to end it based on the season, but they're looking at future odds into this based on their talent on their team, which is like the number 2 talent composition. That's massive. And then who they have left on their schedule gives them an opportunity to be higher ranked later on in the season, even if they were to lose another one. So it actually makes a ton of sense. I don't agree with it. Indiana is even ahead of them, which that is a bit confusing, but they're probably looking at it as like Indiana's not going to lose, but we just said they play Oregon and Penn State. So, but again,
they've also scored a shit ton of points too.
Yes, good point. Good point. Miami hasn't scored. I mean, they played well against Notre Dame. Again, I think the Florida game didn't help them. They didn't really. I mean, they dominated Florida. Let's not get it twisted, but from a scoring perspective,
41-17 though.
Yeah, which would have helped them tremendously. And even Notre Dame is. But again, the reason I believe why Notre Dame is ahead of them because they're like Notre Dame's going to win out. Like they look at Notre Dame's schedule and say, "Hey, Notre Dame's," and they've played really good football. Like that's even though they've lost, and they're ahead of Texas A&M, who they beat, which is crazy. Yeah, the FPI is wild. Look, I'm not saying I agree with it. I agree with what they're justifying how they pick it. I respect it.
But at the end of the day, it doesn't really mean anything. It's just ESPN FPI. Like we can make a mathematical problem and have whoever we want up there. If win out, who's the easiest probability? Who could have the most losses and still make the playoffs? Well, that would be Florida because they play the hardest schedule. So it's like, you can make up whatever you want. I wouldn't get too hung up on it though, Anthony. It's just another.
Go ahead.
It's another graphic they can make.
I also think that it's trying to be more of a futuristic list. That it's like this is how it's going to end up, based on what we have thus far. Because Florida isn't that low. Florida is right behind Iowa. They're ahead of Virginia. They're ahead of Baylor. They're ahead of Georgia Tech. They're ahead of UCF on this list. So, and some other crap teams, but they're ahead of Mississippi State on this list. And again, I think a lot of it has to do with how it could finish out. So,
yeah.
Great question, Anthony. Great little tidbit there for us to talk about. Be sure to smash the like button, boys, and subscribe. Let's see here. I believe if we had a top QB, we would have easily beat LSU and possibly Miami. At least we have Billy still calling plays. I'm so pumped. I don't know how to take that one. But yeah, if we had some better quarterback play, I think for sure we'd be undefeated right now. And then we would probably be number 1 to FPI. I'm not to be quite honest with you. If we were undefeated, I wouldn't be hard-fetched to say that, maybe not number 1. I think that Ohio State probably would hold on to that. But good question, Anthony. Good question. And I've read that pretty well, Gator Gang, so thank you very much. All right, cool stuff. Let's keep on this thing on rocking and rolling here. I got to do some more reading. I saw that look, these Tuesday morning shows are going to be a little wonky because, we're finding things to talk about that, on an everyday basis. So there's a mega board, and it's always fun to go through other teams' message boards. I usually don't wander off from the SEC. Sorry?
The message board, the Twitter page. I mean, that's an epic. That's during the season. That's such an epic follow.
It is. It never fails. I mean, kudos to whoever thought of that idea because it's just you never really. I don't know if you could really say you get any sources, but you just get a pulse if you just want to see how people are feeling. Like you get a live look in to the pulse. Like we know Gators Nation's pulse. Like we live in it. We breathe it. This one just caught me off guard because when you look at Iowa, you think at Iowa like it's Iowa. Like they just exist, right? Like
Yeah,
you
they
don't
had
really.
the same coach forever.
But I was high on Iowa this year, boys. And what makes me upset is they're a player or two away from being where I think Iowa could be. Am I wrong? I mean,
Familiar.
you take Indiana to the wire, right? It's like
Yeah.
if they just had a pulse on offense, boys. Holy crap! Like they're good.
I know. Are we talking Iowa? Or are we talking Gator football?
Amen to that. Amen to that. So this guy, the thanks for the men says odds of becoming a better program without KF. I know I'm being a dead horse and I'm not being a KF fanboy, but what do you think are the odds of Iowa becoming an overall better program if they were to send KF packing or he was to surprise us and retire after the season? I would put the odds at very low at finding the perfect hire, and Iowa all of a sudden becomes a top 5 Big Ten program consistently. In fact, I think the odds are taking a step or two back would be much higher. Thoughts? Okay, and then I was starting to read some of the message boards. Like,
It was dug in on them.
What's that?
Are they dug in on them?
That's what it feels like. They're they're so, I think, just beat down and numb to like we want to just be good enough.
Change the coach. We can't do that.
We gotta finish 8-4, 9-3 this year. Like we can't risk losing that. Like they'd rather just score 12 to 15 points a game and squeak out a few close ones than lose the consistent. It's been very minimal consistency, but they don't want to lose that. I was like, dude, this is wild. He goes,
you know what they need to do? They need to fire him. Go get the Kansas coach. I think that's an upgrade in jobs. Go to Iowa.
So look, this guy, and this is the thing. Like Iowa hasn't been atrociously bad. It says what are we 12th in the nation in victories in the last decade? So they've been winning football games. Like
yeah, they're not relevant.
Yeah, it's like they always lose 2 or 3 just to boot them out of it. And again, how the Big Ten's kind of always been top heavy. They're like probably 4th and 5th every year. Odds of being,
defensively they get good defensive players. They get the leftovers of what Ohio State and Michigan don't want, which are still really good players.
Yeah, and it's crazy. It's like do we want to take the risk of, because then it says odds of being better probably 10 to 15% with our NIL. Just my guess. Odds of being worse with the next coach much higher, obviously. I would think like it would be a no-brainer to go get somebody else.
Nah, dog, they're ready to be middle of the road of the Big Ten for the next 5 years until he croaks. I mean, he's old, isn't he?
Yeah, he's old. Yeah.
He's old.
It says Indiana did it, but they basically bought a roster. We are in a new league. Iowa isn't playing in the Big Ten West anymore. Iowa will be lucky to win 6 games this year with or without KF. That is a good point. When things were separated for the Big Ten, it was much more, I would say, feasible for them to have success in the Big Ten. But now that it's crossover play, they're having to play the likes of Oregon, and Indiana is now a threat. Your odds of playing big time schools are much, because you only would play Michigan, I think, every year, and then Ohio State every so often, maybe, and then you're feeding with Northwestern. So that is a good point, that maybe he was able to get by with 9 to 10 wins because of playing on that Western side. So maybe it is time to move on. Hell of an interesting conversation. I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, you never thought that they would even bring this up. This is like shame. This is like dropping an F-bomb in church. You just don't do it, right? Like,
such a clean board too. Like you go in Florida, like we've seen some of the Florida stuff. Like it's
oh god, death threats. Like FBI be searching that thing.
Yeah, these guys are like, I don't want to be.
We're calling head coaches terrorists.
Yeah.
Charge them with treason. What are we doing?
These guys are.
I was like, oh well, it.
There it is.
We're not very good, but I'm scared if we get a new coach that we might be worse. We play defensive brand of ball, and we run the ball, and we get a couple good tight ends to the league every year, and.
That's
next
Canadian,
thing you know,
I'll take it. I'll take close enough.
No, that's Iowa.
That's Iowa?
Wisconsin.
I was trying to find it. I was trying to see where it was.
Nebraska. Yes. It's all that. Minnesota.
Oh, yeah, Minnesota. There it is. Yeah. No, that's how it feels. Like they're just. It always reminds me of How I Met Your Mother with
We
Marshall.
put a white DB in the NFL every other year. We got to keep that train rolling. What else we got?
With from Marshall from How I Met Your Mother. He's from Minnesota, and they're just like that. His whole persona is just they're the nicest human beings ever. Like they're never mad. And that's how I'm reading this message board.
They say Southern hospitality. No, go up north to the.
The North is
stick,
unmatched. Bud. Yeah, it's unmatched. It really is. Really is. Money says just got off work. Mizzou running back is his Heisman favorite. Look, they have a schedule and an opportunity to do things. I think Bo Pribula, he's also up there in the ranking as well. That could open a few things up for him. So,
boy, if you're an outdoorsman, Iowa's a job to have.
5-star show.
If you like to hunt and fish, I mean, I'd be going to Iowa. If I had the head coaching opportunity, great deer hunting there. I only got to get. You don't
even got to recruit.
Season. You don't have to recruit. No, I can find enough kids in the Midwest to come.
Yeah,
I'll steal some from the wrestling program.
Now, I do wonder. I mean, that guy's been there for so long; he's kind of built in, right? That maybe he gets a little bit of leeway. If you come in as a new guy, I don't think your leash is as long. But you never know.
That's okay. That
you take those guys to 10, 11 wins, though. I mean, you might get a statue.
You know what we're gonna see? We're gonna see some high-powered guy, some high-powered offense guy get the job, and they're gonna be like, well, I just don't like winning by that much. It just feels bad.
Doesn't feel right. Yeah.
It don't feel good.
Yeah, the kids in the hospital.
I don't need to be.
They don't know what's happening.
65 on. Yeah. We need fireworks for the kids.
I love it. All right, we'll get into Arch here in just a minute. But ladies and gentlemen, this episode was brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Boys, I'm in shambles. I didn't realize Micah Parsons' sack. They gave him a freebie, and I missed my 6-legger by one. And then last night, I mean, I had a nice little lineup just cooking, a little 4-legger there, and I mean, Jake Browning it just couldn't do anything. Couldn't get anything done. Couldn't just throw the ball to T. Higgins. Missed it by I think like 7 yards. I had the more, and he had less than what I needed. And heartbreak is real. To taste it, to get that little blood in your mouth the last 2 weeks, has been brutal. To say nonetheless. I didn't realize there was even 2 games on last night. That's how disconnected I am from the world right now. But it's been fun. I'm gonna cook another one up for Thursday night. Should be a good one. A lot of max discounts. They're rocking and rolling right now, so be sure to check those bad boys out. Prize Picks is also the best way to get action on sports in more than 40-plus states, including California, Texas, and Georgia, and, of course, Florida. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. You know what sucks is it gives you this option, which is really cool. Like you said, you can go to be perfect, or you can say, hey, 2 or 3 or 4 you're right, you'll get some of your money back. I probably should be doing that, especially with how good the last 2 nights have been. I would have been up, but I'm greedy. So I'm going to try it out next time. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try the flex play out. It's an actually pretty cool option because it's like, hey, we appreciate your efforts. It's nice. Download the app today and use code HIGHTOP to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code HIGHTOP to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It is good to be right. It is.
Hey, I got a little prize pick for you. If there's a defensive lineman playing a relevant defensive lineman,
just say more or less.
More or less.
Yeah.
On sacks.
Yeah.
Against the Vikings, we're giving up 9 sacks a game. 9 sacks a game. We've had 32 sacks this season.
That's an interesting play there. Okay. Good looks there, boys. Good looks there. Yeah. Look at this.
Our line in shambles.
Our producer here, we could talk about this for just a minute. We didn't have 5 topics, but now we do. Muddy Waters, y'all hear Paul Finebaum was considering leaving ESPN to run for U.S. Senate. I thought it was confirmed.
Flavor. That's Morris flavor.
Huh? More his flavor.
Yeah.
Is it though?
Oh yeah, dude.
You know what's weird? I feel like
he'll get in for a shoe-in. Where's he live? Alabama?
Yeah, that's where he's trying to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird seeing, like, again, I think about this as we get older, like we're starting to see people who we've and maybe it's a new age, but I always felt like politics, like you were just in politics, and like politics was like its own little world, and like you just grew up in that. But it feels like there's
Yeah.
more crossover more than ever. Like people who've been in the limelight, not related to politics whatsoever, are now just like flipping this switch completely. It's
There's been several. This is kind of a trend. College football. Well, obviously, Paul Finebaum isn't a coach, but there's been a trend of college football coaches going and being Senate and congressmen. I think there's one right now from Arkansas, maybe. A prior head coach from Arkansas. He's a congressman. Paul Finebaum for Senate. That's a shoo-in. He'll beat whoever. All he has to do
is it a
he's
control thing?
popular.
Are we gonna get old and want to get into politics? Is that what's gonna happen, Cody? Is that just
we're never gonna be able to get into politics. We got too many hours on the internet. Okay, we've said too many crazy stuff here on High Top to ever get it. I really feel bad for my mom. She wants to become a politician or a lobbyist. I'm like, boy, I hope they don't dig too deep, boy, because I'd be saying some wild shit. Truffle shuffle. Oh yeah, drinking. I mean, I'm like, Mom, you're a host. You are a host.
I don't know. I feel like we could. I mean, imagine just like at a big rally, right? For Cody the Prof. There's just a big fat head of you just doing the truffle shuffle. I think we would save lives. I would be your running mate. I would take second fiddle to see that thing go through.
Hey, maybe that's the thing. Tuberville from Auburn. That's what it is. Tuberville from Auburn, not Arkansas. Pretty much the same thing. Yep. But it's Saban has kind of been tossed in dabbled for some stuff like that. I think when you're a leader like that, I'm not talking Paul Finebaum, but I think when you're a leader at that magnitude, like head coach, it's kind of just kind of a shoo-in. I'd vote Cody for president. Drinking at 10 a.m. It's what the country is made for. It's not 10 a.m. It's 10 p.m.
for Cody. Yeah,
we've already established this. Hey, I don't drink outside anymore when the bus is coming because Tiffany already got pulled into the office last year about that.
Homie Old Fashions, I'll get the Cody Shuffle song going now. Look, I think we have something here. I've always thought about that. It's like, man, did I really ruin my opportunity? Because I feel like a lot of old people always just want to get into politics. I don't know if I'd want to do it, but I like to talk. I like to argue. So there's like that part of it that I think that I would enjoy. But yeah, at the same time, we've ruined. You think? I don't think so, though. I think the reason why I don't think so is because everybody's life is online now. And so we are in that world where it's like, I think people would almost be sus if you weren't online. You know what I mean? Like we need the vulnerability. I feel like I could use it to my advantage.
Like we're just so organic that
exactly.
Yeah. Like you want to know about me? Go watch High Top Sports.
Exactly. And then we get more subs. So it's a win-win.
Maybe that's what we're doing wrong.
This show is a gym. I mean, I feel like you're not getting this anywhere else. This is incredible. Especially like Button Boys. This is incredible stuff.
Sure.
Cody's a Florida man up north. That is true. Yeah. Those northern boys, they know how to do it. All right, let's get into Arch. We're so off topic. Wife is pulling in with the coffee. Perfect time. We've got some more things to go over. Arch Mania. Is it going to start, Cody? It hasn't started all year. Are we gonna see some things get going here, big guy?
I don't think so. I think that Florida's actually going to win this weekend. Unfortunately, not that I don't want Florida to win. I don't.
Hold on.
I just feel like my ship.
Look. Your tagline should be battle tested.
Battle tested.
And then I can't look when you're in a debate, they're wobbling.
They're wobbly.
You just peep over. He's wobbling.
Yeah. Continue. Yeah. Did you take that money from that foreign nation? Did you have a Chinese spy you were sleeping with? I didn't. They're wobbling.
They're wobbling.
This is brought to you by High Top Sports Campaign Ads, LLC.
Oh man. All right. What were we saying?
I think we could probably make an insane video, like an all-American, like just me on the smoker, plate of ribs lined up, just feeding little kids. You know what I mean? Lattes, just come on. The dads are all all around the campfire with the lattes.
Oh, feeding
I got
kids.
the whiteboard out. We got college football, and I got the whiteboard out, giving them what we're gonna run next.
I
mean,
feel
what are
like
we doing?
we may be onto something. This is Cody breaking down the economy like he breaks down a defense.
That thing's toast. Yeah. Well, you can't run in the negative. Listen. I'm no economy genius, but you can't run in the negative every year and expect good results. So we'd have to get that shit fixed. Department of War is getting audited immediately. You thought Doge was wild? Watch out.
Get in the
Daddy's
box.
coming in there and wants
Get in the box.
Hey, get in the box. Listen, I'm taking all the MasterCards away, all the American Express. We ain't writing nothing off. Okay.
Look, this is why people look at the power trip. Look at the power trip. He's getting a little bit of endorphins kicked to the brain. This is why people want to read politics.
Listen, we're gonna be saving America some money. Okay.
Oh my gosh, unbelievable! All right, back to Arch. Back to Arch.
Toast. Yeah, he's toast. I think the Florida defense is gonna sack him 5, 6, 7 times. I think it's gonna be a defensive battle, and I think Jaden Balls and maybe a punt return from our boy VB3 wins the game. I think it's gonna be close, but I think VB3 or something like that, scoop and score, pick 6 from like Cormani McClain. I think something like that is gonna give us the edge on this Texas game. I don't see the win there. I don't know if that's good for us. It's when you got the Somali Pirates right now running the ship. They're the captain now. I don't know what we're doing here with the ship. I don't know which way the ship's going, but I think we get the win over Texas. I think Arch is not bouncing back. I think he has a terrible game and he throws 3 or 4 picks.
Yeah, look, the big number to look at here is his under pressure. On 35 pressure dropbacks, he's 10 of 27 for 37%, 168 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions. And with that 3-3-5 shell defense that Florida is able to throw at him, they're able to get pressure. They're able to contain the run, and they're having issues with their running backs staying healthy. So I don't know if they're going to have success on the ground. That's what they want to do. Stark said that's what they want to try to accomplish, but Windsor and Baxter are having some injuries concern, and we've done a phenomenal job, I would say, of keeping the run contained. Miami was the one that kind of bullied us the most. Offensive line wise, on the Texas side, isn't as nearly as powerful as it is for Miami. I see a big time defensive battle here coming down to the wire. I mean, we could see a Oregon versus Penn State type of matchup where it's 10-10 and like a big play could bust out for sure. Look, the one thing is Arch has had a ton of emotions, much more than Quinn has, much more than DJ Alagwe has, like good and bad. Like it's just, he is a fiery little curly head dude. And I don't mind it. I think that there's a place for it. He's got to learn, I think, to manage it, because when it's bad, it's also the other way, right? The emotions go haywire the other way. He's had some exciting moments and some fired up moments to feel good. Again, and the reason I can speak this, because I'm that way. When I get too high, I've gotten older and have mellowed out. But when I was younger, I would ride him. I would genuinely have like these ebbs and flows, because if life was going good, you get this like I'm the man mentality, super confident, cocky, you're flying high. But boys, when it comes crashing down, like the moment that ego gets checked, you're tender, and it's a facade. So that's where I feel like he could get punched in the mouth, because you got punched in the mouth in Ohio State. You've had 3 fake weeks to basically amp up a make-believe energy, and now you're gonna. I think you're gonna get punched in the mouth with probably one of the best defenses he's gonna see all year.
This is a game that one player could take over, with it being so tight on the defense. I'm hoping too. This could be Dallas Wilson's coming out party. He has a game like he had there in the spring game. Florida wins it by 2 touchdowns.
The crazy thing is like both teams are in a very similar situation. It's like Texas's schedule has made them look better than what they actually are, because they haven't played anybody. Yeah. So they had a good loss, and then they've had 3 wins.
Yeah.
So they're in a very similar boat as Florida, but their schedule doesn't say the same. So no one's looking at it.
If you take a team that's probably more battle tested against better opponents, I mean, it's Florida for sure.
Yeah. And I think that's going to be the edge, is that like there's nothing Texas can throw at Florida that they haven't seen.
Yeah.
But in the same breath, like both teams are kind of waiting to find themselves offensively, and both teams have, I mean, plenty of weapons to go around that can take over a game. Whether it be BB3,
Yeah.
Dallas Wilson, Ryan Wingo, CJ Baxter, like the names go
Jaden
on.
Ball.
Yeah, exactly. And then of course 2 5-star high caliber quarterbacks that have not lived up to the expectations that can do something as well too. But the place is going to be a rambunctious. Like nobody's not going. Yeah, I think Texas would beat USF too. That's what's so crazy is that I do feel like I feel like Florida could have been won every game. I don't feel like I was crazy for thinking that. They showed that they should have probably won if they just had a complimentary offense. But look, the one thing that Billy has done well is adjusted after the bye week. So we'll see. But yeah, all eyes on Arch to see if he's able to get the ball rolling there. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a great game. I am disappointed that this game doesn't have nearly as much sexiness as I think it could have. I mean, as much.
There.
Sorry?
Isn't College Game Day going to be there?
No. College Game Day is going to Vandy.
Oh, they're going to Vandy. I know Florida was in the running. Florida, Texas was in the running early, but obviously when you're not scoring a bunch of points, it doesn't help that.
Well, you got an undefeated Vandy and a Bama coming off a massive win. Yeah, SEC Game Day will be there. So Tim Tebow and the boys will be there. They were there last year for a game. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad second running.
No, I mean it'll work. Gator Gang says I bought tickets behind the bench just to yell at Billy. I can only imagine what's being said. Gator Gang, can you film some of the raunchy things that are said? Nothing too bad, but I just want to hear, like, if it gets ugly, record it so we can review it on the show. I'd appreciate that.
Oh, there's definitely gonna be a Fire Billy chant for sure.
That's what I'm saying. I want to see it from the crowd. Jimbo, send it to
row
me too.
one.
Yeah,
Jimbo, row one. That's a good seat, except for when the blue pop up tent pops up. Then you're host. Can't see nothing.
Oh yeah, the
I made
injury
that
tent
mistake last year. Yeah, I made that mistake last time.
This Gruden thing's not going to go away, is it, Cody?
No, it's not. I don't think he gets that job either. I think they got their head coach.
The way that he's functioning, Bobby Petrino's over here firing people like he's already got it.
Yeah.
Did you see
I've never seen an interim coach fire anybody. And it's Bobby Petrino firing them. It's not like the AD's letting them go. No, Bobby Petrino's firing them. Like, why are you firing coaches if you're not going to be the head guy next year?
Yeah, look, this is part of where it's the one thing I will say for Florida waiting to fire.
Sam Pittman let the devil in with Bobby Petrino. He needed to score points. He let him in, and Bobby Petrino is the reason that Sam Pittman doesn't have a job this year. Because you already see the workings of him firing people and looking for new staffers. Yeah, like that dude, you had to score points. Bobby Petrino's going to do that, but he's also going to stab you in the back. That's exactly what happened.
He was inside job.
Yeah, definitely inside job.
Yeah, for how quickly things are moving, it's like you're already in bed with everybody.
Yeah. Yep.
Look, part of being a head coach is you got to watch your back. I mean, that kind of is what it is. Like I think, in a way,
Careful
Billy hasn't done a good enough job of kind of keeping like too much things gets out. Like you can't trust anybody. That's a hard part of it.
But if he would have hired like Ed Orgeron as a defensive line coach or what's his name that was going to come in for the DC over Ron Roberts, that coached at Florida. God, why am I missing that? Will Muschamp. Like when you have that caliber of guys that have been at a program and have won some, like you want those guys on your staff, but then again you don't, because
they know how to navigate. Yeah,
they know how to navigate. They know how it works. They've been there. You know what I mean? They know who to talk to. They know who to grease. They know that Tammy up there at the UAA, that she likes cupcakes on Monday, and So you're going to go bring her cupcakes every Monday. And Tammy got a lot of pull because Tammy talks to everybody. Tammy, the receptionist. Okay. She knows everything that's going on at Florida.
Cody for president, boys.
You just got to make sure you grease them wheels. Okay.
You went off the tangent and completely knocked me off my rocker. I don't even
Gruden ain't getting the Arkansas job. I don't care. Brett Favre's had 150 concussions. He just needs to chill.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Okay. So before we get into that, because we're talking about Bobby Petrino taking over and firing everybody, you wonder, and I was saying Florida, maybe there's a positive here for the Florida fans of waiting to see how other teams are navigating, one, how players are navigating the portal, two, and how coaching hiring and coach search is going. Like, you can kind of ask around, like, what's kind of the vibe. But also, I really think that if you're Arkansas, you're what? They're 2-3. I mean, their schedule still provides an opportunity, and it's like, hey, we could still flip this thing around, but let me do it now. Firing everybody is kind of wild because now there's nobody man in the stand. That's the part I don't get.
Unless he's got guys.
So that's going to be interesting to watch. Like, who comes in?
Unless he's placed them already as analysis guys and stuff like that. I'm telling you. Yeah, Bobby P has a plan. He had a master plan. He knows what he's doing. The guy is greasy. Him and Mike Zimmer almost got in a fist fight.
I'm trying to see.
I think it was the Louisville, when he was at Louisville.
The director even came out and said, like, look, like they weren't supporting them financially. Like, they were at the bottom echelon of the SEC when it came to financials, and now the next guy we're going to make sure that we back him up. Like, why wouldn't you back Sam Pittman? I didn't get that either.
Because you didn't believe in him.
Yeah, look, Tyler Beamer's going to VTech. Like that, I've seen that. When VTech fired it,
I don't know. That's a step down, right?
Well, it's the father son thing, I guess. I don't get it. But I think his time is coming to an end at South Carolina. I think it's going to be like a Mike White situation from Florida, where when he was our coach, and you leave, like, Georgia basketball is a much lesser job. Still in the same conference, but a much lesser job in the basketball scheme of things. And you can go and make Georgia look good because you're still a pretty decent SEC coach. So you were a hero at Georgia. He can go to VTech and be a hero and move on his own accord and not get canned.
Shane Beamer was on some list early if Billy Napier got fired last year.
To come to Florida?
Yeah.
No. No.
Yeah.
No.
I know you don't like it, but there was talks.
Dan Mullen to Arkansas? I could see that. That's very Mississippi State-esque. Like, he can go out there and do what he did at Mississippi State and be loved and get back into it.
I don't think they get rid of Bobby P. I think they got their head coach.
You think he weaseled his way in?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I also believe that he's on a cheap contract. You can cut him pretty quickly, too.
Well, it's the best part. If he fails, then you can cut him.
Yeah, it's a win-win for them. Yeah.
If he wins out, then you got your head coach. I've never seen coaches fired by an interim coach, and we've seen a bunch of them. I mean, he fired like not one. He fired like 5.
Yeah, that is interesting. I didn't even cross my mind of like you still have a whole season.
On the other side of the ball at that.
Yeah, that's not even your strength.
So, like, what are you gonna do?
Hold on, we've got the graphics team working hard and heavy for you, Cody, and we've got something here for the boys.
Oh boy, it's going on a shirt.
We might honestly, why not? We're gonna put it on shirts. If we put it on a shirt, Gator Gang, you have to buy one. Ready?
Go ahead. Vote. Oh my God.
Ready? Read our plan. Our plan of change at hightopsports.shop.4. Oh my goodness, this is incredible.
That's iconic.
Babe.
What? What an iconic graphic.
That's incredible. I gotta post it to Twitter. This show is a complete shambles, and I love it.
Yeah,
and I love it. Jerry Jones is gonna hire the next Arkansas coach. Yeah, I saw you guys say he would.
I saw something about Tiger King. Listen, he's getting pardoned like the first day I'm in. We gotta get him back rolling on Netflix. Like Netflix been terrible without Tiger King.
We're
gonna get him going. Carol Paskins, watch out. We're gonna lock you up. Okay, we're gonna lock you up. All right,
Cody and Tiger King running mates.
Hey, no, I got you, bub.
No, appreciate it. I thought I was gonna be like more of like a manager. I don't know if I could be vice VP with the madness. I mean, look, whatever you need me to do, boss.
Hey,
I think you and Tiger King can do some. Look, as long as I'm on staff, I just want to be able to fly in the cool plane. That's all I care about.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, Tiger King. He's definitely. Listen, and we're gonna funnel some of that money that we see waste, fraud, and abuse right in some more waste, fraud, and abuse, and we're gonna funnel it right into Florida NIL. Okay, we're gonna buy us some national championships. Okay, Department of War. Listen, we might be a little low on jet fuel, but we're gonna be hoisting some dang trophies and sports that matter over there at Florida. Okay, I can promise you that.
I would say we're off the lane train, Jimbo. I just feel like we're stopped at a stop. We're just getting out looking around. That's all. We're not off of it.
Oh, no, we're not off it. No. We're all aboard. It's just chugging along. We're just waiting for the next stop.
Last question here. Great question. Biggest surprise this year so far besides us sucking? Oh. I wouldn't say Vandy because look, they haven't really played anybody yet, so I'm not going to say they're a surprise yet. Indiana's up there.
Probably.
I put Mississippi State up there.
Biggest surprise?
I would say Clemson being just utter ass is a massive surprise.
It's hard because like a surprise that we weren't thinking of, or a surprise for the nation. I think a surprise for the nation was Arch Manning being not very good, LSU being not very good, but I think we pretty much predict that.
No, Clemson,
there was I was always wondered on. I was
Clemson
like
sucking and FSU being decent are the two big ones for me. Arch does not surprise me.
Price, you know what? Probably the quarterback play at South Carolina. That's probably my biggest surprise. I thought that they were primed and ready to wreck people in the SEC, and then Oklahoma. Oklahoma and SC.
I would say they were surprised. We talked very highly of Oklahoma. That's not a surprise. We were on that train early.
I didn't think the offense would be this potent, though.
No, we did. We felt confident. We had plenty of conversations about it. Tennessee is another one that I would say I would be surprised, but I backed off the train.
They're better than expected. They're better than expected.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised, though. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think
South
Nico was that
Carolina
good.
for me. South Carolina for me, for sure.
I'm okay. Yeah. I expected him to be better.
Because we have Lenore Sellers high. Like, could be the guy in the SEC if he could take the step.
Clemson is worse.
No. Kansas State.
Yeah.
The utter collapse of
crazy. Yeah. Great one there.
Of Kansas State. We were all juiced for Kansas State.
Great one there.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Kansas State for sure.
There's a lot of good ones. A lot of good ones for sure. Ohio State hasn't been tested yet, so we'll see what's going on with them. Boys and girls, hope you guys enjoyed this show. Again, kind of a pop-up show. We're going to try to do this every morning if we can. If you guys like it, let us know. You guys seem to love to hang out with us, so we enjoyed it. We appreciate it. Y'all be good. Stay safe. We'll see you guys. We'll see you whenever. Just keep the bell turned on. At this point, who knows?
Who knows?
It's Madden. It's game week, boys. Beat Texas. Peace and love.